Yes, September 16th, National Voter Registration Day. All six of our locations, we will have representatives there to uh, register folks to vote as well as respond to and answer questions about their voting status. So very excited about that. And Kim, I'm gonna take a point of liberty real quick because there was a program we did, I think it was last month, end of July, early August, and I hope folks got a chance to see it on our social media and maybe the website. But we sponsored and offered a program for our GLS or our patrons who are blind and print disabled. We had a paint and sip. We had roughly 20 to 25 folks in the class who were visually impaired doing a paint and sip. It was phenomenal. It was absolutely great. So continue with the programs such as those and many more that we offer. So good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're going to get to you in just a second. I am Scott Parham. I am your Clayton County Library Director. Thank you again for attending one of our Coffee with the Librarian episodes. And just like any episode in the past, we bring you, the community, information that is so valuable to you. Information that sometimes you wouldn't normally get to hear in any other setting but here. And today is no different than any other day. And I am so very excited to have in the house today Dr. Royal Baxter, who is our new Workforce Development Director. Give her a round of applause. I know, right? Didn't expect that.
No, I didn't. Thank you.
So let's jump on into it and tell people a little bit about yourself and how you got to this position and a little bit about your background.
Absolutely. So good morning to everyone. I am Dr. Royal Baxter, and I have the pleasure of serving as the new Workforce Development Director for the Clayton County Chamber of Commerce. A little bit about me. I'm a native of Savannah, Georgia, the beautiful historic city of Savannah, Georgia. And I moved to the Atlanta metro area about 23 years ago for college and fell in love. Literally and figuratively.
Okay.
So met my husband, had a family, and so we are rooted here in Clayton County. I live, work, and play in Clayton County. I went to school at Clayton State University. I have my classmate, my former student, who's now a leader in the community from Clayton State. So we are products of Clayton County. Outside of doing what I'm doing now, before I got to this role, I also served at Clayton State University for 15 years in various positions, and many of them involve student engagement. I believe in the holistic student, right? We know they're going to get an excellent academic founding at Clayton State, but making sure they had the atmosphere and the experience to go along with it was my passion. And so after that, after about 15 years, I started really strengthening and deepening my roots here in the county and becoming more and more engaged directly with the county. And that's how I got connected with the Clayton County Chamber of Commerce through the Leadership Clayton program, getting very connected with the president and CEO, Ms. Valencia Williamson, and started helping facilitate their education, leadership, and workforce development programs. And that brought me here to this point.
Very nice, very nice. So as the new Workforce Development Director, what are some key initiatives or programs that you're planning on launching this year? And maybe some long-term programs as well.
Okay, so first I should start by saying I'm only 4 days in, and he gonna throw a question at me like that.
If somebody asks me, what's she plan on doing? I'm gonna ask her yourself.
So, well, you know what? I want to make sure I deliver it, okay? And because it's so new, nobody would know, right? No. Seriously, some of the key initiatives. One of the first ones is we want to make sure that we are strengthening our engagement directly with the employers, right? So for the chamber of any chamber, it is our ability to have access to the business community. And so when we talk about workforce development, that's the core, is making sure we have the jobs, right? Making sure we have the marketable open and employment opportunities. And what we really want to do is hear directly from the employers what they need, right? Sometimes we think we know what they need, but let's bring them to the table. So one of the very first initiatives that we want to make sure we hone in on at the chamber is kind of an employer roundtable, so to speak. We're going to, funnel that out where we are inviting our key employers to the table, and not just a one-time thing. We almost kind of want to counsel, because we know that the workforce is ever changing. And so we want to make sure that we bring them to the table. Another thing we want to do is to continue strengthening our community partnerships with our education partners. And we are already tied in, I mean, really deeply rooted in our partnerships with Atlanta Technical College, Clayton State University, and of course, CCPS, specifically through the CTAE and work-based learning programs. And I think one of the third initiatives that is really necessary in anything you do is making sure you have some strong data tracking opportunities. We don't want to just do all this work and not be able to have the numbers and the qualitative stories to back up the great work that we're doing with our workforce development.
Absolutely. Those numbers are important because it helps drive, you're making informed decisions based on the data.
That is correct.
So given the opportunity, or given that the airport, which is in Clayton County, how can we better leverage this asset for better or more economic growth and workforce development growth?
That's a great question. The first thing I think is to continue to position Clayton County as the prime location, right? We know it's Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta Airport, the world's busiest airport. And we just heard from Tracy Gilbert on Thursday with our Leadership Clayton class that they are what, Sierra? They are now the giant ATL. She gave some incredible thing, and I was like, yeah, the mighty ATL.
Mighty ATL.
We appreciate the mighty ATL, but I also like the idea that we want to make sure they know that Clayton County is the premier place for warehousing, for distribution, for logistics. And so when we do that, we continue to market ourselves and put ourselves in that position. That's one way. Another way is to strengthen our tourism and hospitality.
Speak to it.
Yeah, so we just had a panel of 4 incredible people come and speak to our Leadership Clayton cohort last month about the tourism and hospitality and parks and recs here in Clayton County. And it was so refreshing hearing from them that visually, what you see matters, right? So even think about when you come to Hartsfield-Jackson, if you're walking around, they have taken great liberty to make sure there are paintings and exhibits. Like our airport is like a museum almost, right? I know when I fly out with my family, we get there early to get through TSA, but we get there to go and enjoy, right, and see it. And so having Clayton County deepen our marketing within the airport, marketing some of our amazing places so that people will want to come back and not just see it as a stop through or a pass through. I want to go visit Clayton County. I want to go visit the International Park. I want to go visit Arts Clayton. I want to go visit our Clayton County library system. So we need to put more things inside of the airport just to leverage the visibility.
Very nice, very nice. So in today's challenging job market, what are some resources or training programs that the Chamber offers or through your office?
So the Chamber offers multiple resources. Now, as we get into our workforce development opportunities that we are now getting ready to unfold with our portfolio, one of the main things the Chamber has the ability to do is market not the programs that we do ourselves, but the ones that are already happening. And that's what we kind of want to do, right? We want to position ourselves. Think about a GPS. Anybody use your GPS?
All the time.
All the time. I use it to get here and I live 12 minutes away, right? We use the GPS for everything, right? Why? Because the GPS, it maps out, it navigates our routes. It's called the Global Positioning System for a reason. We want to be the growth positioning system at the workforce development efforts at Clayton County. And to do that, we need to download, we need to know what's happening, who has the work source resources, who has what programs, what initiatives. And when we put all of that together, we want people to be able to download us to say, I can go to the website of the Clayton County Chamber to find out what's happening. You know, I don't have to go everywhere. I can just have that one-stop shop. And so when you think about that, we are very connected with community programs such as the Next Gen Progress, right? And that's for our younger residents facing barriers to education. Also, you have Hearts to Nourish Hope. We're very, very close and connected to Deb and that organization, WorkSource Atlanta, right? From the ARC. We do so much work with the ARC. So what we really do basically is just be in the room. Be present. You'll hear me say that over and over again. Now that we have a dedicated person in the role, I'm going to literally be boots on the ground, not where your fans at, but boots on the ground. I want to be at the meetings. I want to be here at the Clayton Library System meetings. I want to be everywhere that there's a discussion on programs, resources, and initiatives that are going to help foster our workforce development here.
It's so important.
Yes, very
It's so important to be in the room when these discussions are being had. So I've got an acronym for you.
Okay.
CREST, CREST.
Like the toothpaste?
Like the toothpaste,
Okay.
but I think it stands for something else.
It does.
Can you explain what CREST is?
Absolutely. So CREST is the Center for Research on Economic Sustainability and Trends.
Okay.
Very, very beautiful and impactful program that's coming out of the College of Business at the Clayton State University. And its mission is to basically assist local governments and businesses and community agencies with understanding the trends, the challenges, and the strengths regarding the workforce solutions, right? And so they are putting out assessments. They just rolled out a really large assessment that went to our employers to find out what their needs are, what the challenges are, so that we can build the programs around it. And again, we talked about making informed decisions. You need that data. And so the way it benefits us here in Clayton County is when you have the proven-driven data, you can make proven-driven solutions. And so that's what CREST does. And it's a strong collaboration with the Clayton County Chamber. So we're super proud of that partnership.
Very nice, very nice. So how does the chamber, what strategies is the chamber coming up with to help encourage residents to invest in businesses in the county and not go outside the county, either for restaurants, either for shopping,
Okay. I think
or even just businesses wanting to establish businesses outside the county?
Yeah, absolutely, because that's what we want, right? We want to drive the business here in Clayton County. We have one of the highest unemployment rates when you assess it against the metro area, and even it's a little bit higher than the national number. So in order to make that happen, we need to drive the businesses here. And so what the chamber plans to do is to continue to highlight the economic advantages of Clayton County. If I have a business, I need to know that I'm going to be able to prosper. I'm going to be successful. I need to know that the talent pipeline is strong in Clayton County. Workforce development, workforce solution goes hand in hand with economic development and growth. And so what we're going to do is continue to market that so that we can drive the businesses here in Clayton County. And for the residents, we need to continue to showcase and tell their stories, right? Some of us went to church on yesterday, and I come from a church background in Baptist, and we believe in testifying. So I want to encourage our residents, especially our young folks who are able to see and take advantage of the opportunities we have. That you don't have to have a 4-year degree. We're not discouraging it, but the opportunities we have, technical college and the credentials. Share your stories. Share your stories with your peers. Share your stories with others so that they too can say, you know what? I can not just survive, I can thrive in Clayton County. So sharing the story, marketing it for the employers as well as for the employees.
Nice, nice. And you touched on community colleges a moment ago, and I think this next question directly relates to that. So the Skilled Workforce Act, can you elaborate on what that is and the impact that it could have on the local workforce?
Absolutely. So the Skilled Workforce Act of 2025 has just been rolled out by Senator Ossoff on August 1. We actually hosted him over at the chamber a couple of weeks ago for a press conference. So we are super excited to back and support that bill. And what that bill is creating a new tax credit to incentivize businesses to invest in the infrastructure and technology and equipment update at our career readiness programs, right? And this is for public and technical colleges, right? So not your 4-year, sorry, Clayton State, but it is for Atlanta Technical College. Also our CCPS, CTAE work-based learning programs, right? So what they're saying is we're gonna incentivize these companies to come in and update our equipment, right? Give us the most modern equipment, the modern technology, the modern infrastructure to train our workforce ready talent. And when you do that, that's attractive, right? A business, if I have a business and I want to get the most attractive talent pool, I need to make sure they have the most attractive resources. And so offering this new tax credit and them qualifying for it is a no-brainer. And it is definitely going to benefit Clayton County directly. I'm so excited.
Very nice, very nice. Are there other programs such as the Skilled Workforce Act or other programs that you would like to highlight that the chambers do?
Yeah, I think I'll stay on kind of our youth partnerships and our education partnerships for just a moment. And two in particular that I would like to point out is a program we do called HOPE, Hands-On Pathway Expo. And that is in partnership with Atlanta Technical College and the CTAE of CCPS, Clayton County Public School System. And what that program does is we take about 400 graduating high school seniors to Atlanta Technical College for a day of hands-on experience. And so that is directly in line with Dr. Smith, our superintendent's No Dead Ends 4 E's. If you're not familiar with the 4 E's initiative, he wants to make sure that any student graduating from Clayton County has an opportunity. There's no dead ends. So one of the E's is enrollment. So you can enroll in a college, right? Technical college or 4-year institution. Employability. Go ahead and get a job. Some of our students are, this generation is different. When we were coming up, you didn't have many choices. If you were going to do anything out of the house, it was usually go to college or go to the military, but you didn't have as many pathways as they have now. And so that's 2 of the E's. One of the other E's is enlistment, right? Talking about the military. And then the 4th one is entrepreneurship. And they can even get all of those skill sets at Atlanta Technical College and many of our other programs. And so HOPE is an amazing program. It'll be taking place again in March of 2026. So super excited about that. Another program that we do is a customer service training program. Free of charge for our high school seniors. Once they graduate, they apply for the program and they go through a 2-week soft skills program, right? Because our students, our graduates, they're behind the social media, that's how they're communicating, but to make them the most marketable employees, right? We want them to be strong in the talent. So we want to make sure that they have effective communication skills, critical thinking, they know how to problem solve. They're able to work with a diverse population. And so we take them through 2 weeks of that, and we partner with amazing employers. So our past partnerships have been with Delta Airlines, have been with Atlanta Gas Light, Clayton County Water Authority, Hartsfield Jackson, Kaiser Permanente. And we actually take these students to those locations to see what an opportunity in their customer service looks like. And the great thing about those partnerships is our students get to apply and they get first looks from going through that program.
Nice.
So super proud of those.
Great. I've got 2 follow-up questions that are kind of off script here.
Okay.
They're follow-ups to what you mentioned a moment ago. You mentioned entrepreneurship. Can you expound a little bit about that and what opportunities that the chamber and your department are offering for those who are seeking to be an entrepreneur and the training involved?
Absolutely. So one of the things I'll highlight is our Small Business Development Council. And that is an amazing opportunity for anybody, young or even seasoned, looking to get into entrepreneurship, joining the council or at least coming to the meetings and events that they have, because you're going to be around other entrepreneurs. You're going to hear their story. We also bring resources, right? How to start up a business in Clayton County. Sometimes we think about how exciting it is, but we miss the mark on making sure we have our ordinances together, understanding, what the certificates and what that looks like. Sometimes we just don't know. So we want to bring you into the fold, bring all of your great ideas, and we want to put you in front of experts who can guide you, right? We have some small business development workforce guides and kind of step-by-step of what to do. So that's one of the great ways that you can get into entrepreneurship and get connected with the chamber to get that support.
Great. And my next question has to do with veterans. We've been working a lot with the veteran population here in the South Metro area. What about the workforce department in the chamber?
We plan to expand and strengthen our programs with them. One of the things we've been doing is more so not just the workforce development piece, but highlighting our veterans, right? Definitely got to start by the support. So to all the veterans, thank you for your service. And so we want to make sure that we're in the know. We know what programs and resources exist in the county for our veterans. We know that WorkSource Atlanta has some things, and there are some other ones. We have some grassroots programs coming out. Shouts out to Reverend Barksdale. We talked about veteran programs there just last week. So again, being in the room and knowing those things and those opportunities, and then knowing how the chamber can partner to support, whether it's resources, whether it's getting the word out there. And then another thing I'll say about highlighting is one of the events coming up on September 12th, we host an awards called the Valor Awards. And the Valor Awards is an opportunity to highlight and recognize the great work of our public service, our healthcare industry, including our veterans. And so that's taking place on September 12th. If you go to our website at claytonchamber.org, you can register for that event. And that's a great way to, again, be in the room with the veterans.
Nice, very nice. So are there any upcoming chamber events that we should know about and should support and or attend?
Absolutely. I just mentioned the Valor Awards. That's on Friday, September 12th. So again, go to our website and you can register there. Also, the Chamber Small Business Council meet and greet. We're just talking about that. That's right. We have one coming up on September 24th. It's right here in Jonesboro at Be Merry Events Studio, okay? That is free of charge, and that is going to be a great way, whether you own a business or you just want to come out and meet and greet our small business owners to see how you can support and stay connected. That is taking place on September 24th at Be Mary's at 6 o'clock. And if you go to our chamber website, again, claytonchamber.org, and you click on events calendar, we update that calendar daily. And so you can see all of the events that are happening in real time.
Nice. That's all I had. I told you it was going to be
That's
nice and
it?
easy, nice and breezy. Now, here's the tough part.
Uh-oh.
Questions from the audience.
Now that wasn't in the script this time.
And are there any questions that have been submitted online? We usually like to open this up. Folks who are tuning in.
I like it. In the hot seat, again, let me remind you, this is day 5. Be nice.
So online, they're saying congratulations. This is a very informative interview. And hey, everyone.
Hey.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're really sweet here.
I see.
Anybody here in the audience have any questions?
Mr. Ellery?
Hold on, I gotta take a long way around.
Have some Jeopardy music while she walks around.
Yeah, we got to have some music rolling.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Have some speed. Hang on.
Hello, good morning. I know in Clayton County, if you attended some of the commissioner meetings and some of the community meetings, there seems to be some pushback against warehouses and the truck traffic, but with our position to support Port of Savannah, Port of Miami, of course, the rail system through here and the airport, what can we do to make the community feel better about we need to be in a logistics hub, and you have to have warehouses if you're going to have logistics. And because of the airport and where we're centered, that is going to be a huge growth industry.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. So some of the things I think that we talked about, one of them is, again, making sure that our commissioners and all of our community leaders, those who are going to be making those informed decisions, have the data, right? They have the numbers. We know that we need it, but we need to make sure that they can see that we need it. That's just in anything we're doing. So making sure, again, the chamber's positioning ourselves to make sure we are working, again, with Crest and others to collect that data, so to continue to push that data. Another thing is, I myself serve on many of our workforce initiatives, and one is through Aerotropolis. So if you are familiar with Aerotropolis, we just had an amazing meeting with the Workforce Collective just last week on Thursday, and we're talking about the same thing. And in that room, you have these very partners and businesses that understand exactly what you said. And so when you have the people in the room, when you have the right people at the table, when we have you as our community members and residents helping us push that story, helping us continue to share that narrative, I think we're going to be just fine.
Any others? No?
No. Hey, I do have a question. Can you say when that meeting on the 27th at Be Merry is?
24th, September 24th at 6 p.m. at Be Merry Events Studio. That's in Jonesboro. And it starts at 6 p.m. And this is not your average meet and greet. If you have never met Miss Tamari Scott, she does an amazing job of making sure you feel welcomed, engaged, and we have a good time. We're gonna have a DJ, some refreshments. Look at everybody pulling out their phone now. Let me put this in my calendar. Put it in your calendar. September 24th, everyone is welcome to come out. And it really is a great opportunity to connect with our small business community.
Any last minute stuff before we, yes, Rebecca?
So, good morning. So piggybacking off of the question about the hubs, the transport hubs and things like that, how are you going to balance that out with, I mean, I personally am considering moving out of Clayton County because of all the trucking. And I mean, that doesn't make me want to live here, and by adding more to it, how do you balance that out?
That is the question, right? We have to figure out a way to balance it out. We know for economic purposes how strong it will help strengthen our economic and our ecosystem and landscape here in Clayton County. But we also have to take into consideration the impact on the residents. We want you to not, first of all, move out of Clayton County. I'm not going to find you and lock you down, saying you're not going anywhere. But we do want to make sure we're listening to the residents, and that's going to be on the burden of the county to make sure we not just look at the dollar signs and the numbers. Think about how we can continue to have our community a livable, workable, and lovable place. And so you as a resident, don't ever stop voicing that, and you make sure that, again, you're at the table so that when these things unfold, and they will, okay, what we do know is it's going to happen. How it's going to happen, how fast, how much, not sure yet, but all that is being shaped. Be a part of the shaper. Bring your hands, bring your voice, and come in and make sure that you are saying those things so that we don't forget that our residents still want to love where they live.
Thank you, Rebecca. Yes.
All right, my water cooler buddy, be nice. We made tea together this morning.
We did. We were talking about logistics and warehousing and those jobs. What about the residential development? Do we deal with that at all, or what is the plan for that in Clayton County?
Are you asking if the chamber is dealing with?
Yeah, does the chamber deal with anything that has to do with like housing development or anything like that?
Well, yeah, directly and indirectly, right? The chamber, again, being the deep-rooted hub of community engagement. And so we are very closely connected with the Housing Development Authority. And we are there to listen, to lend a voice, to tell what the business side is for as well. But we're also tapped into what our residents need and want on the residential side. And so when we think about economic development, economic growth, and social mobility, we have to take all of that into account. So the residential side, the business side, again, Clayton County Chamber is making sure we literally have boots on the ground. We're at the meetings, we're serving on these councils, we're showing up so that we can listen, hear, and offer kind of that balance that Ms. Rebecca was talking about.
Thank you. Any additional? Yes, sir. We got that here.
Hold on, I gotta
Take the
take a
long
long
way.
way.
Roland, do you have another mic? Then we can
Actually, Roland, can you please pass it?
up front.
Thank you.
Hello,
Good morning. Good morning.
good morning. With artificial intelligence coming, can you speak a little bit to that? I know nobody knows exactly who's going to be losing jobs, who's going to be gaining jobs. Is the public schools teaching something about artificial intelligence? I'd like to know for myself. I have not downloaded ChatGPT or whatever it's called. But I did tell my son, I said, have you downloaded that? And have you tried to use it? He said yes. So but can you just discuss a little bit about artificial intelligence and
Yeah.
how much trouble we're in?
Well, without getting my phone and plugging that question into ChatGPT, I'll just give you a little bit of my thoughts on it, right? AI is here. It is here. I will admit that on the onset of it, I thought it was going to be the big scary wolf coming to town. AI is going to take over everything. AI is going to take our jobs. AI this, AI that. But I have found that it is not so. It's not such a scary wolf. It's not such a scary thing. The biggest thing we can do, our tool, is to understand how to utilize AI, how to utilize it effectively. Even with ChatGPT, it's a great tool to put in. I'm glad you told your son about that, right? It's a great tool to put into your daily landscape of whatever you're doing so that you can have that extra support. But it's not something that we should become so codependent on that it becomes your voice. You still need to be able to use it as information purposes and then humanize it, right? So take the information, just like anything out there, you got to fact check and data check. Everything that you put into Google is not always actual and factual anyhow, but utilizing AI to our advantage is really going to help us advance in so many areas. And one of the things I told my students when I was in the classroom is that AI is not necessarily going to take your job. It's the person who knows how to use AI that is going to take your job. Now, which side of the coin you want to be on is going to be up to you. We were just talking at our Aerotropolis meeting with our WorkSource Collective, how we need to add in, just what you said, some classes that are going to support the intelligence of understanding artificial intelligence. So that might be something that we can work on right here.
this.
You ready?
Laura, when's the next one? Or when's?
Coming up in the fall.
Yes, so we will be teaching AI classes here at the library coming this fall. So stay tuned. And absolutely, as you said, it's not the big bad wolf, but again, it is pervasive in a lot of things that we do nowadays. And it can make life a whole lot easier.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely it can. So stay tuned. But great question. Very good. Because a lot of people are concerned not about the applications also, but the data centers.
Mhm.
And we all know and have heard about, what's going on in the county regarding those. And I'm not going to go down that path, but it relates. And so there's that codependency on workforce development, these things that can be controversial,
Yeah.
but also cutting edge technology that is here to stay.
Absolutely.
So
It's all about balance.
it is.
We're gonna find that Clayton County is in such an incredible position to just thrive. I mean, when I tell you I love Clayton County, I love Clayton County. I've had many opportunities to go somewhere else, station somewhere else. I've even had people come tug on me, come to this city, come to that city. I'm Clayco, I ain't leaving, I'm right here. So I love Clayton County. We're gonna be just fine.
And we've got some amazing folks in Clayton County doing amazing things. So
Yes, we do.
please, congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep up the wonderful work. And this won't be the last time you'll be here.
I hope not. I was gonna ask. I need to make sure I get the invite again.
Promise that. Thank you so much. Dr.
Thank you for
Baxter.
having me.
If there are no more questions, thank you all again for attending in person. It's a nice, good crowd today. Those who are viewing us online, stay tuned for next month. And I think we've got the calendar set all the way out through the first of the year, 2026.
No, I've been
No?
working. We only good till April, honey.
You hear that? So we've got folks locked in until April of 2026. So check out the calendar, check out the information about Coffee with the Librarian, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.